This is the 8th of October, 2021, and we're going to be starting with poly cotton. We have 20 pounds of poly cotton. We're going to run them in this press. It's got an oversized motor, 7.5 horsepower. It's running 8 amps, no load. We have it in operation, 60 hertz. And there's the screen, and here's the discharge cone, and you can see the screw turning in there. So 20 pounds of poly cotton, and we're weighing the pails of water. Here we have our recipes, 15 to 1 most of them, and the final at between 3 to 1 to 5 to 1. And this will be pounds of water per pounds of dry cotton or poly cotton. We started with poly cotton because we have 4 bags of poly cotton here, one we just used, and only 2 bags left of 100% cotton. We'll use that on our second trial. Okay, running at 1 bar. My amps are, okay, dale más. Okay, we're going to feed some in. And my amps are staying down around 10 amps. It looks like an inlet hopper feeding very nicely. Good feeding. Coming out. And everything going okay. My amps are still low. Okay, this is our second batch. We are third trial, number 3 at least. We're going to try at 2 bar pressure, 30 psi, and see where the amps go. And the press cake moisture content. We gathered samples from that first number 2 trial actually. This is the press cake. This is the press cake from the first test, and that was at 15 psi, 1 bar pressure. My hand doesn't even come out wet. I've got a feeling that'll be adequate. We've got 5 stages of compression in that pump, in that screw plate. We're starting our second test. Amps aren't going anywhere. The press must have emptied. We emptied it out some. Huge flow of water, of course. Amps are staying low. I don't like that. We're at 10 amps on a 17 motor. It's coming out. The press gate coming out. Amps are still low, darn it. Well, 10. I'm going up on my cone pressure. Take it up to 3 bar. That's 45 psi. Okay, amps 10 to 15. 10, whoop, there it spiked up to almost 20. 10 to 15. Spikes to 20. Okay, we're going to turn on the press without the screen. Tocalo nomás. Okay. I don't see any damage. I heard some clunking, but in good shape. But don't grab me here. A little tight there. My resistor bar is loose. It's not bent. And that's what that looks like. It's not functioning. You see that ball of clock going around and around. That tends to block off the throughput of the press. And maybe that explains a little bit of my throughput capacity reduction. It's supposed to knock that off. Okay, this is 3-to-1 with poly. It's very thick, and so we put in 3-to-1 ratio. We're feeding in the 3-to-1 ratio material. I'm still at 45 psi. Here more squalling, not as much water. Déjalo así y con el palito lo puedes ir empujando. This is America, you have to speak Spanish. Don't want to take a chance on bridging, and I think I can start a time test. Okay, we're feeding it in, getting water out pretty much the full length of the screen. Cake coming out here, this is how it comes out. And we're still going 20 RPM. And there's the cake for our time test. And this is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon test. I think I labeled it 155. Oh, the cake is coming out a little bit warm. Feels a little warm to the touch. Just a few degrees, enough to notice. Action in the inlet hopper. And there's my inlet to the screen. And feeding on its own pretty well. I should see the scoop flights fairly soon here. There we go. No problems here. And of course I'm continuing to get out water. My time test. See, no más. We'll try to keep the press full when we run a test and make sure we don't have bridging. That way we and constant speed and constant air pressure. Okay, we have started running 100% cotton with 15-to-1 water, 15 pounds of water per pound of cotton. And looks pretty normal. I'm going to have to flush out my poly to start with. Whoops. Get rid of the water. That's okay. That's messy. Okay, I think I'm about ready to start my time test. Anyway, looks like it's going down. And now I'll start the and it's coming out a little bit warm. Okay, I'm getting water at the beginning. And mid-range. And there's my sample for the time test. This is the final test. We're running 100% cotton with 3-to-1 water. I've been getting some water out here at the discharge. Pressure's still running 20 RPM. You can see the difference. It'll be interesting to go through these videos and this video and check the different things. Cake coming out. Same as before, a little bit, no moisture at all. A little bit warm. And there you see the screw turning around. Yes, this is at Vincent Corporation, Tampa, Florida on Saturday morning. This is scrap. And we're in the assembly department. And there's some big presses here. And there's one under assembly. Tailstock for this one. This one is going to the Philippines. Once we have it together, we take it apart, sandblast it, and put it back together. And this is the Mexi Frutas press. They were working on it last night. That cover goes up here. Air cylinder, discharge cone, braided grease lines, lifting lugs. Like one there, and you use hooks over here. Gearbox drive, large gearbox, and spray bar system, and a wedge wire screen. And that is the Mexi Frutas press.